Hello students, welcome to my channel. Today I am here to teach you class 7 Cbse science first chapters part 3, that is other mode of nutrition in plants. So in the previous class we have studied about photosynthesis. In this class we'll continue other mode of nutrition in plant. Other than photosynthesis, how can plant make their food, or there are some plants who can make food from other modes, like other different types. So let us begin. There are some plants which do not have chlorophyll. They cannot synthesize food. How do they survive, and from where do they derive nutrition? There are many other plants in the world which are in the plant kingdom who doesn't have chlorophyll, but still they survive. And how do they survive? They have to get a nutrition, or from where they derive this nutrition. Like humans and animals, such plants depend on the food produced by other plants. So how we human beings and animals are depending on the plant, similarly these plants depend on the plant for their food. They use heterotropic mode of nutrition. So here let us begin with the heterotropic mode of nutrition. You see a yellow, so see a image, I'll show you. Figure 1.5. Here you can see some yellow wiry thing falling on a green plant. So this yellow wiry thing is nothing but it is a type of a plant, Cuscuta or Ambrel. Yes, this is withdrawing the nutrients from that green plant. So that green plant is called as a host plant. So this host plant is giving up a nutrients for the Cuscuta for its survival. So this type of nutrition is called as heterotropic mode of nutrition. This is a plant called Cuscuta or Amble. It does not have chlorophyll. As it does not have chlorophyll, you can see that is yellow in color. It takes ready-made food from the plant on which it is climbing. You can see how it is climbing on a green plant, that is the host plant. It takes ready-made food from that plant. The plant on which it climbs is called as a host. Yes, on plant the ambrel is climbing, that plant is called as a host plant, since it deprives the host of valuable nutrients. It derives nutrients from the host plant. Cuscuta is called the parasite. Now this plant is called as parasite. You call them as parasite, where in heterotropic mode of nutrients, where you can see in nutrition, where you can see a parasite or a plant which with the absence of chlorophyll depending upon the host plant for their food. Are we and other animals also a kind of parasite? You should think about it and discuss it. Have you seen or heard that have you seen or heard of plants that can eat animals? Yes, there are some plants who eat up the animals. So which are those plants and why do they eat animals? There are few plants which can trap insects and digest them. There are some plants which can trap insects in them and also digest them. It is amazing. Such plants may be green or some of other color. Look at the plant in figure 1.6. The picture like or a jug like structure is the modified part of leaf. The apex of the leaf forms a lid which can open and close the mouth which can open and close the mouth of the picture. Inside the picture there are some hair which entangle the trapped insect. The lid closes and the insect is trapped. The insect is killed by the juices secreted in the picture and its nutrients are absorbed. Such insect-eating plants are called insectivorous plants. Is it possible that such plants do not get all the nutrients from the soil in which they grow? Yes, this is possible. See, listen, now you can see in the figure 1.6. So here you can see a plant that is called as a picture plant. So here we have a leaf modified into picture. So the leaf which is converted into a picture and the picture has a lid. So now when insect falls in the picture, so there are some hair like structure which trap the insect, and once when the insect fall inside the picture, the lid get closed and the hair like structure secrete some juices which make the insect to dry, and that digests the insect. So this hair like structure also trap the insect and does not allow the insect to move out. So this is how the picture plant trap the insect and digest them. So why even this picture plant being green in color getting don't you think this plant getting all the nutrients from the soil? No, it doesn't. Once when this plant is not getting nutrients, complete nutrients from the soil, it is trapping the insect to get those nutrients, those insufficient nutrients, and withdraw them from the insect. Buju is confused. If the picture plant is green and carry out photosynthesis, then why does it feed on insect? Yes, as I told you many times, so what happens, photosynthesis also takes place and that plant can prepare its own food, but still there are some nutrients which can't be provided to those plants by photosynthesis. So these plants depend on the insect for those nutrients, so they trap them and digest and take up those nutrients. So this was about the insectivorous plants. Such plants which eats insects or eat insect eating plants are called as insectivorous plants. Saprotrops. You might have seen packets of mushrooms sold in the vegetable market. You may have also seen fluffy umbrella-like patches growing in the moist soil or on a rotting wood during the rainy season. Let us find out what type of nutrients they need to survive and from where do they get them. So you can see in the figure 1.7, or also when you go out to the market, you can see mushrooms, right? These mushrooms, they are not green in color, but still they are plant like. And did you ever think where do they get their food from, or where do they prepare their food? So you can also sometime when you are passing through a road during the rainy season, you can see some fluffy umbrella like thing, that is also a type of mushroom. Buju wants to know how these organisms acquire nutrients. They do not have mouth like animals do. They are not like green plants as they lack chlorophyll and cannot make food by photosynthesis. So here we get confused, like how these organisms might get food, as they are not green in color, photosynthesis can't take place in them. They don't have mouth as we animals and human beings have. So how do they get their food? So let us see. Activity 1.2. Take a piece of bread and moisten it with water. Leave it in a moist, warm place for 2 to 3 days or until fluffy patches appear on them. What is the color of these patches? Observe the patches under a microscope or a magnifying glass. Write down your observation in your notebook. You will see cotton thread-like structure spread on the bread. So you have seen this in your house that many times. So what happen, if you keep bread for a long time closed in a packet, you can see some green or white color fluffy patches appearing on the bread. So what are these green or white fluffy patches? So if you observe this under a microscope, you can see a cotton thread like structures. So you can see the figure 1.8. So these are called as fungi or fungus. Fungi or fungus. These organisms are called fungi. They have a different mode of nutrition. So what type of nutrition here, mode of nutrition take place? Let us see. They absorb the nutrients from the bread. This mode of nutrition in which organism takes its nutrients from dead and decaying matter is called as saprotropic nutrition. So where the organism withdraw or take their food from dead and decaying matter, that type of nutrition is called as saprotropic nutrition. We saw in the heterotropic nutrition where other color of the plant, that is which lack chlorophyll, depend on the host plant to take their food. But here these organisms, they lack chlorophyll, but even they are taking food, they are not taking food from the green plants, they are taking food from the dead and decaying matter. So this type of nutrition is called as saprotropic nutrition. Such organisms with saprotrophic mode of nutrition are called as saprotrop. So what are these organisms called as? These organisms are called as saprotrops. Fungi also grow on pickle, leather, cloths and other articles that are left in hot and humid weather for a long time. So whenever there is a weather possible where hot and wet climate is present, in that type of climate there is a possibility of growth of fungus on your clothes, in your pickles and leathers. During the rainy season, they spoil many things. Ask your parents about the menace of the fungi in your house. So they spoil many things. So how these fungi grow? So there are spores of the fungi present in the air. Whenever they get a wet and a warm climate, then they start to germinate there and they grow. Now you can figure out how we can protect our things from getting spoiled. So you have to keep away the matter, that is the thing, from the warm and wet climate. So when you keep the things away from warm and wet climate, the spores doesn't get a suitable condition for their growth and there is no growth of fungus and your things remain unspoiled. Paheli is keen to know whether her beautiful shoes which she wore on special occasion were spoiled by fungi during the rainy season. She wants to know how fungi appear suddenly during the rainy season. As I told you, spores will be roaming around in the air. When they get a suitable condition, that is wet and warm condition, they start germinating there. Buju says once his grandfather told him that his wheat field was spoiled by a fungus. He wants to know if fungi can cause diseases also. Paheli told him that many fungi like yeast and mushrooms are useful, but some fungi cause diseases in plants, animals and including humans. Some fungi are also used as medicine. So fungi, they are edible like mushroom and yeast, and some might cause diseases in plants, animals and human beings, and some they are used as medicine. So fungi might be poisonous, edible or useful. Some organisms live together and share both shelter and nutrients. This relationship is called symbiosis. For example, certain fungi live inside the root of the plant. The plant provides nutrients to the fungi and in return the fungi provides water and certain nutrients. So sometimes what happens, there are organisms which live in the roots of the plants. Okay, now when these organisms are present in the root of the plant, they take up the nutrients from the plant and in return they give water and the nutrients which are required for the plant. So this type of relationship where shelter and nutrients are shared, this is called as a symbiosis. In organisms called lichens, a chlorophyll containing partner which is an algae and a fungus live together. So they are lichens. So you can see some shell like thing which will be some green in color, patchy things. So those things, they are an algae and fungus will live together and they are called as lichens. So here what happened, the algae will give so let us see, the fungus provides shelter, water and minerals to the algae. In return, the algae prepares and provides food for the fungus. What the fungus does here in the lichens, it will provide shelter, water and minerals to the algae and in return the algae provides food for the fungus. So this process is called as symbiosis. So In this class we have studied about other mode of nutrition. So first as where we studied the heterotropic mode of nutrition about cuscuta, the yellow colored plant falling on the host and taking up the food from the host plant. And in the second type we saw the saprophytic nutrition, where we saw saprophytes, that is the fungi which are not green in color. They take up the food from the dead and decaying organism. And we also saw the relationship where fungus and plants live together by sharing shelter and the nutrition, that is called as symbiosis. So in the next class we will be studying more about the plant. So please stay connected with me. Thank you for watching this video.